Hey guys, welcome back to another video and thank you for watching. So this is an autumnal set to go with the time of year, I suppose, and with what everybody else is doing. So here I'm using Area 51 by CJP, and I've placed that on halfway down the nail, just dragging it down. It's quite a big bead because I need the thickness there. Excuse me. I'm going to be putting in some netting to get a netting pattern. So once that's in place and the acrylic starts to go matte, so I'm just tapping it there just to see how well it's setting up. When it starts to go matte, it's just setting, I'll pop my netting into my clear acrylic just so it's got a layer of that on it, and then straight into the wet acrylic, pull it underneath. It's quite difficult on a practice hand because there's no resistance, so I have to kind of pull it round, and I only wanted to do the bottom bit, but a little bit more would have been better. And you can see all the little bits have popped through, and because I used the clear acrylic, it comes out quite easy. So then once that's on, I'm going to use Pumpkin Pie from CJP and just get that on, filling in all the gaps in between the netting pattern. Haven't done a voiceover for ages. This feels like I've started it again. I do genuinely get annoyed with myself when I'm not keeping up with my YouTube channel, because I did want to, and I did promise myself that I was going to keep up with it, but hey, things get in the way and life hits, so you have to prioritise things. So yeah, we've just finished on that bit. I've done the bottom of the middle now, and then I'll move along. I'll let that set and move on to the pinky. On the pinky here, first I'm coming in with pomegranate up in that cuticle area. Place the bead on, push down onto the acrylic, slightly push down into the acrylic just to spread it out into the cuticle. And I'm just keeping that in the top third. I haven't placed a clear layer, a clear base layer, so that's why the pomegranate is so that's why there's a ridge there, because if I'd have done my clear base layer, there wouldn't be a ridge there. Just fading that down, and then I'm going to come in with Area 51 from CJP, pop that down, quite a wet bead, blend the bottom of the bead down and the top of the bead up, just taking a tiny little bit of the bead up over that pomegranate, and then thinning out the bottom of the Area 51 towards the tip of the nail. And then any little gaps, I'll just come back in with the Area 51, and then I might come back in with a little bit more pomegranate just to get the blend how I want it. And then I'm pretty sure that I used copper penny in the last part of the nail, which is one of my favourites from CJP. It's a gorgeous colour, perfect for this time of year. Again, quite a wet bead, pop that on, and then I'm just tapping that up into the Area 51. Didn't need to turn my brush around. Sometimes if it's only a small area, you can get away with just tapping the colour up, just patting the colour into the first colour. And then, like I say, I might need to come in with a little bit more Area 51 to cover up a little bit the copper penny, and then it makes the copper penny have a little bit of a background, which is what the blend's all about. And then once I'm happy, I'll move on to the next nail, if I'm ever happy. So onto the ring finger, and this one's a marble if I remember rightly. So I've double dipped into copper penny and area 51, and I'm just blending that down. So I'm just basically doing the cuticle area of the marble, just starting that off. You could just use one colour. And then a bit of area 51 blended in. And then I just come in with a bit of pomegranate and run that down. And then I just continue to do each colour that I fancy using, bringing that from the top right down to the bottom left of the nail. I don't always do my marbles like this. Sometimes I put on 2 or 3 beads, mix them into sort of a figure of 8, sharpen up my brush, then mix them into a figure of 8. But I just thought I'd try it this way today. This is, I suppose, more of a uniform marble because everything's going where I want it to go, whereas if you do the marble the other way, it goes where it wants to go, and you're kind of just guiding it, if you like, you're guiding the acrylic. But this is more placed sort of how I want it to be. Looking at it now, I'm thinking I could have added a little bit of clear in there. I think that would have been quite nice. But anyway, yeah, so that's that one done. And then onto the pointer finger, and again the middle of the pointer fingernail I did just a small area of marble, and then I'm coming in with some glitters. So once I've finished my marble area, I'm coming in with, I've dipped into my clear acrylic and then into the raw glitter. This is a raw glitter, and this is Autumn Spice from Glitterarty Nails. Both of these glitters are stunning. The colours that are in there are beautiful. And then just nudging that around where I want it, making sure all of the nails covered. And you can use my code Amy for a discount on your Glitterarty order. That's off the whole order, so it doesn't matter what you order, you'll still get money off. And then up in the sort of cuticle area, I'm using Cozy Nights from Glitterarty Nails. It's got like golds, the nice burnt orange colours, a little bit of like deep reds, really, really nice glitters. And again, it's a multi-cut, so I love a multi-cut because it just covers up all sorts. Just pushing that around where I want it, making sure I'm not covering up too much of that marble, otherwise there would have been no point in me doing it. I think I came in with way too much there, but hey ho, we live and learn. And it's on now. So back onto the pinky finger, I've just chosen a few little tiny weeny bits out of one of the glitters. I think it was Cozy Nights. And I'm making like a swoosh or an S shape, whatever you want to call it. So I'm just dipping into, I'm getting a tiny weeny wet bead of acrylic on my brush, picking up that glitter on the end of my brush. So I'm using the acrylic just as a glue, and then popping that onto the nail and nudging it around where I want it. Trying to keep the bigger pieces in the middle and then spreading out the smaller pieces to make a kind of S shape. So now I've got to file off this netting pattern. I've used the wrong bit here. I think I literally just picked up my drill on this and the sanding band was on there. So I went in and I probably only had it on like a 10. And I thought, it's going to take a while if I leave it on there. Maybe I should turn it up a bit. So I'll turn my drill up in a sec and we will actually get to see some of that pattern. There we go, off to turn it up, and then I'm using the wrong bit completely, but it did the job. So you can just start to see the pattern come through. Be careful at this point, because if you go too mad, you will end up just removing the pattern completely and it would have been a big waste of time. So just go careful with this bit. There we are, so that pattern's there now. And then I'm going to just come in with the 2 glitters. So I'm going to put, I think I put the Autumn Spice, yeah, up in the cuticle this time. I really like this one. I like that like creamy colour that's in it. I don't know if you'd call it cream. Maybe like, no, it's not even apricot. I don't know. I just really like that colour that's in there. And some pieces are matte as well, so it's matte and shiny, different sizes, different colours. It's just an all-round good glitter. Again, using some clear acrylic to pick up this raw glitter. And then Cozy Nights just below it. Not coming down too much, otherwise I'll cover up my netting design. I don't want to do that, so I'm kind of just ombreing these two together. They don't go bad together, I didn't think anyway. And just nudging some of those bits down onto the netting area as well. Should have just left that alone, but never enough glitter, I suppose. And then I'm going to start encapsulating the nails. So I'm using Crystal Glass from CJP, which I always use. I come in with my first bead at the bottom of the nail, pop the bead on, drag it down, patting and pressing as I go, blend the back of the bead up, second bead on, drag that, well, blend the back of the bead up into the cuticle area, and then blend the top of the bead over the first bead that I placed, trying to keep that shape all the time, running down my side walls and tapping the bottom. And then in with my cuticle bead, pop that on, let that just set for a second, and then just push it into the acrylic slightly just to spread it, and then drag that over the second bead that I placed. So that's the way that I do the 3 bead method. So again, first bead on, just tapping and pulling that acrylic down all the way down to the bottom of the nail. Second bead, again spread that round to both side walls, and then blend that over the top of the first bead, swiping down the sides, keeping my shape. Cuticle bead, pop that on, press down into the acrylic a little bit, spread it from side to side, making sure I've got it right up in that cuticle, and then blend over. And always checking from side to side just to make sure that I've got enough acrylic there to create my apex. Obviously I didn't, so I've just put a little bit more in there, and that's looking a lot better. Onto encapsulating the glitter and this netting design. First bead, blend that back, pull the bottom of the bead down to the tip of the nail, swiping the side walls, tapping the bottom, keeping that shape. Second bead on, get that relatively flush at the back, spread it from side to side, then blend over the top of the first bead, cuticle bead, tapping into that cuticle, getting it right up in there, and then spreading from left to right, pressing and down onto that acrylic, making sure it goes where I want it to go, left to right, and then bring the top of the bead over the rest of the acrylic. I'll just let you watch now. So once I've finished encapsulating, I went off and filed off camera, because filing these on camera is a pain in the ass. They always slip out of their little pockets. So yeah, I've filed off camera, buffed with my white buffing block. And then this is Glitterbels No Wipe Top Coat. The best part of the video, making them nails pop and come alive. And then, as if by magic, these are the finished nails. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for taking your time to watch these videos that I make. It takes a long time to get a video together, but I really enjoy doing it. So I shall see you again soon. Bye.